Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Common-SenseIVORE podcast. Before I get started, please like, follow, hit that notification bell so you get a reminder anytime we put anything out there. And please comment. The algorithm loves it. Go over to Apple, hit us with that 4-star, maybe 5-star if that's not asking too much, if you find this content entertaining. And please share it as you can to anybody that you think can be helped by it. It's going to be a short podcast today. I'm going to get right to it. Hello, everybody. Today, as I record this, is January 6th, and that is a big day for me because it is my birthday. That's right. Today, this is unimaginable to me. I turn 55 years old. Been a tough week for me. I've been sick for the last 3 days. I passed yet another kidney stone on Tuesday. That seems to have made me, I don't know, the next couple of days I got sick. Very flu-like. I've been fighting this on and off for about the last, since Thanksgiving almost. And so it is a bit bittersweet about how good I feel because I don't feel very good as I come up on my 55th or as I come here and celebrate my 55th birthday. Party will be next week. Tonight I'm going to go out to dinner with some friends. But nonetheless, I am reflecting as I sit here on my 55th birthday and the last 55 years on this earth, and considering and thinking about as I sit here today where I am. And from a health perspective, I could not feel better setting aside the last few days. I've said this many times, and I'll say it many times again, that the secret to getting older, I suppose, is what you eat. Another way of thinking about that is the way to not feel old, or you only feel old because of what you eat. Changing my diet, getting rid of all sugar in my case, getting rid of all carbohydrates, getting rid of all fiber, not in any particular order there, although I would put sugar at the very top. Processed food would be right up there also. The other ones, to a much greater extent, lesser so, has changed my life. Getting rid of at one point I was down 103 pounds of fat. That's a tremendous amount. I put on an incredible amount of muscle over the last year and a half since I lost all of that weight. And I sit here before you a completely different person. So much so that I am constantly reminded in my day-to-day how much better I feel. It's funny. The things that you experience when you are sick or when you are sickly, when you are diseased, when your body is breaking down, if you're 55 years old and you're heavy, fat, obese, diabetic, pre-diabetic, have all of the multiple issues that go with getting older, then it feels like this is the way it's supposed to be. I think that we are advertised to, and we are advertised to by pharmaceutical companies, propagandized to by the government as to what we should eat. I did a post the other day talking about 100 million pre-diabetics that are expected to come into diabetes over the next 5 years here in America. Think about that. That is the world we've created for ourselves with no clear program to try to mitigate that in any way. In fact, quite the contrary, as this battle on meat and battle on proteins generally continue to swirl in the elite circles that seem to have broken the brains of many of the people in our government. Now, that is not a political statement in terms of I am a carnivore, 100%. But the name of my podcast that I have on carnivore is the Common-SenseIVORE. And I named it that for a reason, because I only care about common sense health. That's all I care about. For me, that means carnivore for 95, 98% of my diet. And going for a walk and working out at the gym and hitting the sauna and maybe the steam room a little bit here and there, which is something new for me. But generally being as active as I can be. And here on my birthday in particular, I just think about the benefits to that in such a short time. When I turned 52, I had just gotten out of the hospital just before Thanksgiving, where I almost died, down 4 pints of blood. I've told the story many times. I went from that to this, what you see here today, I can see myself in my computer screen here on the monitor. That's not the same human being. That's in 2 years. Now, really, if anybody's followed me for a while, y'all know it was in 9 months. 9 months, I got super skinny. I saw this picture of me my daughter put up on the internet today, letting me know, and it was very sweet how much she appreciated me and happy birthday. And one of the pictures she put up was from New Year's last year. And I'm wearing a t-shirt, not a same size t-shirt as what I'm wearing now, just a different one, but same size. And it was loose fitting. Now, at the time, I was probably 224. And now I'm about 244, 242, somewhere in there. But the difference in my build across my shoulders is immense. The shirt still fits lengthwise. It's tight across the chest the way I like it to be and the way that I want it to be. But that's the work that I did post wearing a regular large shirt. It's crazy for me to even say that, even though it's been 2 years. A regular large shirt. That's crazy. So when I'm watching people struggle in their 50s and in their 60s, talking about how, even in their 40s, and I know that their minds are, I know they've been lied to. And I know society tells us that we're getting old. And I said this, something about 55, because, in a lot of places on the back of the menu, when you go into a restaurant, 55 years old is old. That means you get to order food off the backside of the menu, and you get something for a discount. Imagine that. Imagine me needing some sort of a discount at 55 years old. It's madness, but that's where I was heading at 52 years old. So in a scant 2 years, I changed my life so significantly. Another big part, as I reflect on my birthday, has been these videos and all of you guys out there. The number of people that I have been able to meet and talk to and interact with and comment with, and again, I answer all comments on all social media, has just been astounding. I've met people from all over the world. I've had direct conversations with, 20, 30, 40 people. It's just been extraordinary. I've made some very good friends along the way, and I expect that to continue and to grow. So one of the looking back aspects of being 55 years old here on my birthday, particularly in relation to my health, is as much about the people I have met and the journey I've done doing these videos as it is about my health and overall how I feel. The fact that I can have some sort of an impact on people's lives, that I can show people what's possible, that they can see some part of me in them, post me, the me you see now, or pre-me, the me you saw before in 2022, sickly and dying. And they can take some inspiration from that and some motivation and get up and go do something about it, rather than sit back and listen to the people around them, listen to social media, listen to society at large that tells us that we're old, and you feel that way that you do because you're old. I refuse to listen to it. I refused to listen to it. I was going down that path, but I refused to. And the fact that what I've done for myself to improve my life across the board over the last 2 years in any way impacts anybody at all positively, I can't believe that. What a fantastic birthday present on the day of days, the day I turned 55. So that's my reflection in the immediate. In the longer term, I've had a great life. I've been a lucky man. I come from very little, and I have achieved very much. I have made fortunes and lost fortunes. I paid taxes as an 11-year-old, believe it or not. I've never not had a job. That's a paying job, not some job mowing lawns. This is a paying job where I paid taxes. So in 1980, as an 11-year-old, I paid taxes. And I paid taxes ever since. And that is the story of my life. From then, I went forward and worked a dozen different jobs. God knows how many jobs I've had in total. Some I hated, some I loved, some were terrible. Setting chokers up in the mountains of Oregon to pull dead trees off the side of hills was a nightmare. I lasted about 30 days doing that, working with a dude who had lost 2 fingers, but was still at it. That was a miserable job. Anybody know what a set and choker is? A big wire, big line comes down. Got to dig underneath the tree that had fallen down or had been felled. You got to get under there and put that choker in there, and then it'll rip that tree up the hill or down the hill, depending on which way you're going. No, nightmare. And I wanted no part of it. I lasted 30 days doing that. 2, installing a chain link fence in the middle of August for a school that was, I don't know, some 300 feet long. It was a nightmare. I hated every part of it. In the heat that told me I was about 18 years old, told me I better figure this stuff out. I better start using my brain, because this working manually for a living, just for me, wasn't something I saw doing long term. I started my own business when I was 28. It failed spectacularly. Started another one when I was 29. That business did $4 million the first year, $8 million the second year, $12 million the third year, $14 million the fourth year, and I was off and running. I almost lost that business, I don't know how many times, 3, 4 times. Made some significant changes over the years. I've grown other businesses. I've bought and sold a dozen of them. I've had huge success and I've had huge failure multiple times. And I look back, I have 3 kids, 3 fantastic kids who all moved here to Tennessee with me. I've been married now. It'll be 27 years coming this August, which is an absolute treat. My 3 children are here and will be having dinner with me tonight here on my birthday and be at my birthday parties, which is an absolute treat beyond imagination. I married way out of my league, way out of my league. Some of you have seen her videos being nice enough to do a video with me here. And that's been extraordinary. So a life lived for sure. I've been shot at, I've been stabbed, I've been beaten within an inch of my life multiple times, broken ribs, broken nose, I'm blind to one eye, hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, I broke my back, as we've talked about, all sorts of issues. And probably been in at least 100 fights. I've seen 3 murders, 2 suicides. I've had to identify more than my share of bodies along the way. It's been an interesting ride. And as I find myself here on my birthday, reminiscing with you guys about that, both about the recent history and the many years back history, I am taken by how lucky I am. I'm taken that I can sit here after all of that I survived all of those things, and I'm talking to you. I'm taken that, again, I'm this healthy doing it. And I'm taken that I'm in this position, coming from where I came from, to be here and to impact anybody's lives, and more importantly, to make relationships along the way. I am a fortunate, lucky man who embraces being 55 years old like no one you've ever seen. I was looking forward to this. As y'all know, I've been working on this for months, coming up to my 55th birthday. I have more muscle on my body now than I ever have at any point in my life. Now, over the next 6-8 weeks, I'm going to be dumping 15 pounds, give or take. That's weight I put on while I was overeating calories in order to make sure I had enough fuel to build all of those muscles. And now I will try to dump, it'll be 12, 15, 18 pounds, somewhere in there, 230, 225. And I'm going to be the baddest 55-year-old on the planet. And I defy anybody to try and tell me that I'm 55 years old that wouldn't know any better. I take a lot of pride in that. I take a lot of pride in going into a pool hall the other day, seeing some people that I know, not well, but through the pool hall. One of them works there. She says to me, we were talking about what a great holiday she had, and I said mine was fantastic. I love all the noise and all the bustle and hustle and everything being busy. The bartender's there behind the bar, and she says, not me. It gets to be too much for me, but when you're my age. And I said, oh, how old do you think I am? And she looks at me. It's a true story. And this is not the first time, nor is it the 5th time this has happened. She looks at me. I'm dressed kind of how I am now, t-shirt, shorts, got a hat on. And she says, 38. I turned to the bartender. Bartender's about 45. And I said to the bartender, Hawk is his name. I said, Hawk, how old do you think I am? Hawk looks at me. Now he's on to something here because he knows that, how old I am. Clearly I'm asking the question. So he goes, I don't know, 42? So there's a younger lady with the older lady that asked me the question in the beginning, and she was with the older lady, and she's maybe in her mid-20s. So I thought, we'll get the perspective of somebody, under 30 years old. So I said, hey, how old do you think I am? She steps back, looks at me, says, I don't know, 40? All three of them. But not only that, not only did all three of them guess on average at about 40 years old, but the lady who told me when I'm her age, you should have seen her face when I said I'll be 55 in 7 days, 8 days, whatever it's last week. She had just turned 57. Now she's working in a bar. She's smoking cigarettes. She's drinking alcohol, right? Her quality of life is not to be envied. She was doing things to herself that made her look, I would have guessed, 65. That would have been my guess. I thought she was much older. When she said she was older, I took it more as like, how old do you think I am? Because you're not that much older than me. I thought maybe 10 years. She was 57. So probably yet another gift here on my 55th birthday is what I've given to myself over the last 2 years to turn that clock back. It'll feed your ego. It does, 100%. When someone doesn't guess how old I am, the only people who guess how old I am are people that are my age, men that are in shape. So that's funny. The 3 or 4 times I've got, I don't know, we about 50, have all come from men my age that are in shape. So that's interesting. But when people say 40, 45 years old, right? No one goes to 50 ever. I take it personally. That's a compliment. I love that. No one's ever gone 55. No one's ever gone hardly even 50, except for these few older guys. So as I turn 55 and I'm reflecting on everything in my life, those are one of the things that probably on my birthday, I can't be thankful enough for, that I gave myself this gift of health and hopefully longevity or a healthy life for however long I'm going to live. Now, I hope I'm doing these videos when I'm 85 years old and still kicking and screaming and yelling about doing push-ups. But if that doesn't happen, and God forbid something happens to me along the way, I'll know that I lived a life that was well lived and full. But as I look forward, that is if I died today. But as I look forward, I think that I have a whole lot ahead of me. I've said this earlier in videos. 2024 is going to be a big year for me. I got a lot of plans. I am no closer to retiring. I'm no closer to kicking back. I'm no closer to slowing down. I'm all about the push, as hard as I can push, for as long as I can push. I have nothing inside of me that says, slow down, stop doing it, don't go, don't risk, relax. Doesn't exist. It may have, for physical reasons that then override the mental fight that I might have otherwise, meaning I'm so fat that my brain just can't fight back against how your body feels. So you're just dying, so you give up, which is where I was. So as I look into the future for me, I expect it to be something extraordinary, and I plan on, regardless of the issues I have, which again, my heart could blow out at any minute. I have a 40% block in my left ventricle. I do things that people who are sick as I am should not be able to do. At some point, that may blow up. It may go out, and I'll do the Widowmaker and be gone just like that. In the meantime, I've got no blockages. I got a 0 cardiac score in my heart. So the only thing that'll take me out is this block. It could stroke me out. Absolutely. It could happen. But I'm going to die as healthy as humanly possible. I'm going to give myself every opportunity to survive something happening to me. I've built myself with so much strength, so much resiliency. If I fall over, I'm not going to hurt myself. I'm simply going to get back up. That, my friends, is living. 55 years old. Doesn't sound right. I can't believe it. It sounds way older than it is. And anybody ever want to come out and try to keep up with me for a day? Let's do it. I think you'd be surprised what somebody my age, in my shape, is capable of accomplishing, which is what anyone else at any other point in their lives, 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, 70, should be able to do. Opportunities are everywhere. You got to go get them. You guys are the best. Thank you for giving me a couple of minutes here on my birthday. And I hope that on your birthdays, you can reflect back and have the same sort of feelings. And as always, if there is anything I can do for any of you guys and you want to have a conversation, I am happy to do it. Just DM me. Meanwhile, please like and subscribe to the page. Give me a comment. The algorithm loves it. Go over to Apple, throw down a 5-star rating if you can, and that'll help me build the channel. And you guys are the best. Go get them. Go for a walk.